wait to pass judgment on Rodney and these other individuals until all the facts. He doesn't wait to pass judgment on Rodney and these other individuals until all the facts.
Rose, what you think or how you feel about the Guwap Pooh Shiesty situation? I don't like it for either side. You know what I'm talking about? Guwap most definitely didn't deserve that, and I don't want to see this for the little homie Pooh Shiesty, but this is when niggas got to be educated and understand. In business, you got to negotiate, my nigga. You got to negotiate. If you were signed for 100K and now you got 10 M's on the table, it's time to negotiate. This how we do this. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody win. Let's go. That's how I got to go, my nigga. You can't muscle your way out of no shit and no business. It don't go that way. And I ain't just talking about on the people's side, but on the other side, the blitz gonna come. You can't run from it, homie. That's the way it goes. Negotiate.
Big 30 got Yo Gotti's attorney. Now, I don't think no attorney could save any of these dudes from any of these kidnapping, conspiracy, armed robbery charges that they have on these dudes, GBIs, because we seen all type of cuts. And so I don't think no lawyer could save them. On top of that, it was 2 ankle monitors there. But you hit that like button. You hit the like button already? All right, man. Let's see what they talking about with this new stuff.
Major news out of the music industry today. Rappers by the stage names of Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 have been arrested along with several others. And they're accused of robbing and kidnapping another rapper going by the name of Gucci Mane. All happened at gunpoint, apparently, in Dallas. The Department of Justice revealing new details on that investigation today. Mercedes Holguin live for us right outside the federal building in Dallas where that took place. What's the latest on all this?
Doug, investigators say this incident took place in Dallas back in January. 8 of the 9 suspects were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville.
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence.
According to DOJ, on January 10th, rapper Gucci Mane and 2 others were allegedly kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located on Dallas Parkway. They say the ringleader behind this attack was another rapper, Pooh Shiesty, alleging he was the one who set up the meeting to discuss his recording contract.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint.
Officials say a total of 9 suspects were involved, including Pooh Shiesty's father and rapper Big 30.
The remaining...
Now, we ain't got Charleston White just talking about this.
That boy, they said that boy put the gun to his head, the Draco. They said that boy had the Draco.
All I know is the DOJ report said that Gucci Mane helped identify Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, I just read the paperwork.
So I told y'all that Gucci cooperated.
Yeah, Gucci got to come on that side with you, huh?
Well, nigga,
Gucci
we all got to come
over
on
the
this
gate.
side. One day a nigga die like John Gotti.
We got Cuff Boys reading the paperwork out. So, man, y'all make sure y'all go head over there. Shout out to Cuff Boys. We finna get to this paperwork.
So they could meet about business. 1:45, the security and the victims arrived at the scheduled meeting. A recording studio with a larger office building. They entered the building and realized the recording studio owned by an individual here and referred to as JN was closed. While they waited for the studio to open, the 5 went to a liquor store and purchased liquor in plastic red cups. Pooh Shiesty's father called the owner of the studio multiple times on the day of the meeting. At 2:53, he answered the phone and learned that Pooh Shiesty's father was attempting to book a recording studio that afternoon for Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane to record. At around 3:15, the owner opened the studio for all of them. Investigators later collected and reviewed surveillance video captured other business located in the same office building, same floor, which shows Pooh Shiesty's father outside of the office building at 3:27 on January 10th. So here's Pooh Shiesty's father right here in the bottom right. At 3:39 p.m., an employee of the studio arrived to assist. When the employee arrived, he witnessed Pooh Shiesty and his dad staying at the back of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. What were they arguing about? At 3:43 p.m., Pooh Shiesty and his dad and all his boys enter the east side of the office building. The target suspects walked through the lobby area of the office building before going inside the studio. One individual with the dreadlock hairstyle, later identified as Gibson, can be seen on the video exiting the office building and shortly therein returning with a bag slung over his shoulder. Sounds like bro brought in a big bag of guns. So here's all the boys entering and then the bag of guns on the right here. I mean, these guys are on camera doing this. Not looking good. 9 individuals entered the studio's control room, were inside the victims were watching a football game. Security was in the studio lobby while another one remained in the vehicle. Depicted below are photographs of the studio lobby. Here's the setting of everything where it went down. The victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on his cell phone, potentially with a probation or parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given permission to be out for rec time. From what the victims could hear, Pooh Shiesty was informed that was not the case and needed to return immediately. Keep in mind, bro was doing all this with an ankle monitor on. Like, you're a moron. Pooh Shiesty was wearing an ankle monitor, leading the victims to believe that he was on house arrest. Gucci Mane told Pooh Shiesty they should reschedule their studio session, but he requested to speak with Gucci privately in an attached recording room. Gucci Mane agreed to enter the recording room with Williams Jr., Sr., and Wright. Wright is Big 30. Another rapper, I believe. Meanwhile, the two other victims remain in the room. I think one of these guys is his cameraman, by the way. They got choked. MM or BP, I don't know which one. BP offered to share the liquor they purchased with target suspects. At least two accepted and grabbing the red cups and making a drink. Inside the control room, Pooh Shiesty produced purported contract termination or release paperwork from a bag and told Gucci Mane to sign it. Gucci declined. Pooh Shiesty became agitated and the pair started to argue. Sadly, not how life works, Pooh Shiesty. Are you 12 years old? Contracts, it's not going to go down like this, where you just request someone to sign it and expect them to sign it. I don't think I've ever heard that happening. The victims could see inside the recording room and initially believed Gucci and Pooh Shiesty to be discussing business, but as MM saw the conversation intensifying, he texted CW. So CW is one of the security guys. As arguments inside the recording room ensued, Pooh Shiesty instructed Wright to get his back. Wright complied, leaving the room before returning with a bag. Pooh Shiesty then pulled what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol from the bag and pointed it at Gucci, demanding again that Gucci sign the contractual release paperwork. So stupid. He complied, signed the paperwork for Pooh Shiesty while his father and Big 30 stood by. Gucci was not allowed to leave the recording room while he was held at gunpoint by Pooh Shiesty. This seems like something out of a fucking movie, like Straight Outta Compton or some shit. This is some Suge Knight shit right here. Wright pulled out a cell phone and purported to record Gucci Mane to sign the paperwork, being forced to say that he released Williams from the contract. I hope to God this video still exists and it comes out at some point. What? There's a video of this? After the release was signed, Pooh Shiesty took Gucci Mane's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash. Robbed him too. After it was signed, Pooh Shiesty provided the paperwork to his father and then asked if the paperwork was good. His father advised the paperwork needed to be dated, so Williams Jr. then forced Gucci Mane to add date next to his signature. As they exited the recording room, the remaining subjects, Waters, Rogers, Johnson, Glover, McDaniel, and Gibson, produced handguns, pistols, and began to demand property of everyone else in the room. BP was pushed out on a couch while an individual known to BP as Simo Damn Fool and part of Pooh Shiesty's crew, later identified as Rogers, searched his pockets and stole his wallet, BP's chain, and necklace, bearing the moniker 1017 were stolen from his neck by another subject he knew as Glizzy375. Later identified as McDaniel. During the robbery, McDaniel repeatedly threatened to shoot BP for moving. Pooh Shiesty instructed McDaniel not to. So Pooh Shiesty was like, bro, we're not killing no one, just rob him. At gunpoint. Do people not realize armed robbery? Like, you're still getting 25, 40 years. Sometimes life. BP further identified an individual he knew as Baby Slime 375, later identifies Johnson as being involved in the kidnapping robbery, and that during the control room robberies, Johnson possessed a firearm and held BP and others at gunpoint. Both MM and BP identified individuals they knew as KD, later identifies Waters, also being involved in the kidnapping robbery. MM was choked. Okay, so MM was the cameraman. From behind to the point of nearly losing consciousness during the kidnapping robbery, resulting in scratches of his neck and wrist. MM was robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple high other dollar watches, Apple AirPods, and his wallet at gunpoint by Glover. MM confirmed his Louis Vuitton bag, AirPods, and wallet each had an Apple AirTag. I hope to God he was able to track it with Apple AirTag. That's so good. As altercation inside the control room ensued, Wright walked over to the studio door to the lobby, closed it, and blocked it with his body, preventing the victims from leaving. So Big 30 was just covering the door. The victim security guards watched Big 30 barricade the door, attempted to force their way into the control room, but were prevented from entering. With handguns drawn, CW and TD managed to partially open the door, but recognized they were outnumbered by the armed targets. This is intense. Both sides have guns drawn at this point. I'm shocked no one got shot in this. Gucci Mane was pushed on the couch in the control room, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Pooh Shiesty placed the barrel on a firearm to the back of BP's head and ordered him and Gucci to leave the room and studio through the west entrance of the building. Gucci then instructed them to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, cameraman turned to Pooh Shiesty and asked him if they were really taking his watches. The target suspects then left the studio. Here's them leaving after the altercation. So they had a white Buick, a black Dodge Charger Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram with a distinct roll bar fixed to the bed of the truck traveling northbound. Here's the three cars they were in. License plate readers placed this Charger in Texas, including the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex during the relevant time period, in particular 218 scan. Kept the Charger following in close proximity to a black Dodge Ram. The Dodge Ram appears to have same distinct roll bar. So license plate readers tracking these boys everywhere, right? The Buick was a rental. Of course, investigators got the Hertz search warrant to get all the information on that. And Pooh Shiesty's father was renting it. Pooh Shiesty is currently serving a 63-month sentence for violation of that shooting back in Florida 2020. As part of his conditions, he agreed to not possess any deadly weapon or knowingly be in company of a person possessing the same. He's required to wear an electronic monitoring device by the Bureau of Prisons. These records corroborate the information investigators received regarding Williams' movements, including his location at or near the offense location on January 10th. You're cooked. They're going to make an example out of him. He is probably getting at least 40 years in prison. I know it says up to life in prison. I think he might get life in prison. And now here we go. They entered businesses in the exact same outfits. And this is how they identify all these guys in the hoods. People are going to say, no, they have hoodies on, bro. You can't even identify them. Wait a second here. They go to other businesses before the robbery in the same outfits. Same shit happened in the Fulio murder. The dude walked in Walmart in the same outfit he murdered Fulio in. Williams Sr. enters the store and walks to the copy printer machines. They obtain a copy of the receipt. He's seen on surveillance near the machines. He went to the Staples to print the release that was presented to Gucci Mane. This is, the jokes write themselves. Bro had to use Staples to print something. Like, you couldn't think of a more discreet way to print that when you're committing a crime like this. Now, the cell phone records from everyone, location data, everyone traveled from Memphis to Dallas, and the Dodge Charger Hellcat and Dodge Ram. The data from Glover's electronic monitoring device aligns with these cell phone records. Hold on, this Glover guy? The Glover guy also has an ankle monitor on. There's 2 dudes that have ankle monitors on in this. Oh my God, they're idiots. On December 1st, Glover pled guilty to felony charges of conspiracy to commit auto burglary and auto burglary in DeSoto County, Mississippi. He was released on $250,000 bond and was required to wear electronic monitoring. Oh my God. The data from Pooh Shiesty's ankle monitor, location information for the Buick, aligned with cell phone records. They stayed at the Comfort Inn. They got a subpoena for the Greyhound bus lines. I talked about Greyhound because I laughed about Greyhound earlier in my video and people were like, bro, they took the Greyhound for the guns instead of flights. Well, they drove other cars down, so they really didn't need to do the Greyhound, so it's a little confusing. But Rogers and Gibson corroborate this travel. That's who got on the Greyhound. The Comfort Inn hotel they stayed at or whatever. There's going to be footage of them in the outfits too. All in the similar clothing to what suspects in the kidnapping and robbery appeared to be wearing. Rodney White in the pink spider hoodie. Corday Johnson, same exact shoes in the hotel. Kadarius Waters, same hoodie in the hotel with his face showing. Do these people that commit these crimes not realize they can get footage of you anywhere else? There's cameras everywhere, bro. Like, these guys don't think this through. Terrence Rogers, same exact jacket with the weird lines on it, as you can see. Demarion Gibson, same Supreme beanie, I think. DeMarcus Glover, same exact, I think, True Legend hoodie. Darian McDaniel, same Supreme hoodie. All right, now they got fucking fingerprints from the crime scene. Latent fingerprints from the red solo cup were identified as Gibson. Another one as Rogers. So Gibson and Rogers, fingerprints on these damn cups there too. They can't deny they were in that room. Now here is the alleged Gucci snitching allegation. Cameraman and BP and Gucci all personally knew Pooh Shiesty. They all described Pooh Shiesty as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask, black hooded shirt, and black pants during the offense. So what that sounds like is that means Gucci identified Pooh Shiesty. Now, if this happened to me, I'm snitching. I'm a civilian. But Gucci Mane has said in the past, he ain't never writing no statement. He never snitching. You know, he's a big rapper that talks about being about that life and shit. But not a good look for Gucci in terms of like being a big, cool rapper. But if this happens to me, I'm snitching on you. Just letting you know. The victims identified his father's Instagram accounts. Jesus. They all identified Wright. Big 32. Gucci did not identify KD or Waters. Oh my God, they got so many pictures of these boys. This is crazy. BP identified individual he knew as Damn Fool 375's present during the offense, described his physical appearance and clothing. Rogers on camera with the Louis Vuitton bag that's stolen. Additional posts show Rogers wearing shoes similar to those he wore during the offense. So the shoes during the offense and then on Instagram right here. Glover is the guy who choked the cameraman and wanted to shoot him. Whiskers match Glover's driver's license photo to the individual depicted. A story featuring a large amount of cash and a Rolex similar to the one stolen. He posts on Instagram the stolen cash and Rolex. You're a moron. You're so stupid. Video showing them flashing money. Here's them flashing money, smiling, watches. The 1017 chain on Glover's Instagram. Baby Slime was identified by BP. Describing short, held him at gun.
Are these guys dumb? Get in the comments right now and let me know, man. And you, if you ain't hit that like button yet, hit that like button right now. You hit it? All right, man, let's see what Wack 100 talking about, man. He said Pooh Shiesty dad been a federal informant, and he said Pooh Shiesty started snitching in 2022.
To do this fucking play.
No, Wack. I'm blaming you. You know I'm blaming you? You know I'm blaming you?
Fuck that.
Wack.
You a player,
No, Wack. Ever since you doubted his street cred, Shiesty had to one up the score.
Listen, Ack, I'm going to give you an exclusive. Because I know you probably lied. The Hunter side told me you lied. They said, Wack, Ack is lying.
Yeah.
My man CL said, go in and troll that nigga, Wack. But I ain't going to troll you, Ack. I'm going to give you an exclusive. Do you know the one thing outside of their names that Pooh Shiesty and his father has in common?
They fuck mad bitches.
I'm going to give you one more shot.
They both like a Draco.
They are both rats.
Stop it, Wack. Cut it out, Wack. Cut it out. Not again. Stop it. No. Stop it, Wack. Stop it. Stop it. Wack. I don't like when you do this. I'm going to tell you why. Because now that you know he locked up, you called him a rat. Yo, you know how Shiesty in that move.
You know what our agreement was, Ack?
What?
If you tell me I'm lying to you, which you have the right to as my brother.
You don't got no paperwork, Wack. Stop it.
That's what you think, Ack?
Wack.
Okay, you know what you got to do when I fit it to you, right? Here it comes. His daddy been a rat since 2009.
Stop it, Wack. Stop it, Wack. Yo,
okay, hear what I just sent you.
Yo, where does Wack...
Listen, that's a full file. I'm going to send you...
Yo, Wack, stop it, bro.
I'm about to send you when he ready. Listen, the nigga been a rat since 09. I'm sending you all the work. Pooh Shiesty was 8 or 9 years old, so this is his pop, live and direct. Now, Listen, you know the exposers. We sit back because I'm a strong representation when it comes to Gucci. That's bro. So I'm gearing up for when these niggas want to start playing. We gonna play back hard. Now I'm sending you right now, as you see, the direct pages of the 5K1 stipulation. This nigga's a motherfucking rat. So now, since you want to tell me I'm lying, go ahead,
Wait, what?
No, don't go to study now. You got the full document, and I sent you the 3 pages where the nigga's a rat.
Hey, did you hear that they took off Gucci Mane's wedding band? I thought
Fuck all that. Shout out to Gucci team. Gucci, shout out Keisha K.O. for keeping Gucci level-headed. Listen, if you go rob a nigga that got off-duty police as his security and civilians with him, that's on your dumb, stupid ass. Stupid. Dummy. And then what they did is they made a video and said, yeah, if you say something, we're going to release the video. He ain't got to say nothing. An off-duty cop obligation.
What is this? All right, I got it up on the screen. Memorandum of Plea Agreement. This is from April 15, 2009. This is the father, Lontrell Williams. He's a defendant. So the defendant, Lontrell Williams, through his attorney, knowingly and voluntarily agrees with the United States through the undersigned attorney to plead guilty to 1 count of the numbered indictment, charged him with violating Ooh, a lot of charges. Pursuant to this and third, he will join the government and the defendant will jointly recommend the defendant receive a 3-level reduction. Oh wow, a 3-level reduction for acceptance of responsibility under the United Sentencing Guidelines. The defendant understands that if the court does not accept these recommendations, the defendant nevertheless has no rights to withdraw the plea. Neither the government or no law enforcement agency, the defendant understands that the accurate sentencing guidelines must be taken into account before before the court is not bound to sentencing guideline and can impose any sentence in the statutory limits. Based on the defendant's ongoing and anticipated future assistance to the government, it is contemplated that the government may recommend that the court do a departure in their sentencing pursuant to U.S. Sentencing Guideline 5K1.
Nigga, we are the motherfucking exposers, nigga. We sit on shit. Don't fuck with us, Team Gucci, nigga. Pooh Shiesty proper, because he's a mice, because he come from his daddy, that's a rat. Don't fuck with us, nigga. That's what it is. We ain't lost nothing. That nigga been a motherfucking rat, and he made his son a mice. There you go.
Damn.
Now, don't never question me, I am a motherfucking exposer, my nigga. Don't fuck with us. Team Gucci around this bitch. Y'all go into what's on paperwork and stop making up assumptions about what they think a nigga did and talk about what a nigga really did. Side of clubhouse shit.
Substantial assistance is understood by both parties to require good faith during all phases of cooperation, including the defendant's provision of complete and truthful information which assists the investigation or prosecution of other individuals with complete truthful testimony as subsequent proceedings when needed. Now, Wack, I'll be honest with you, out of any paperwork you've ever said, this is the most black and white. This is clear. The defendant acknowledges that the government, if this is real, it's clear. If it's real, and I'm looking up on Pacer.
Did I fix it the whole work?
Yeah, I'm looking up on Pacer. If it comes back on Pacer, yeah, this is, it's cooperation. The defendant acknowledges the government's determination of whether the defendant has cooperated fully and provided substantial assistance, and the government's assessment of the value, truthfulness, and completeness of the defendant's assistance is solely within the judgment and discretion of the government and shall be binding upon the defendant. If a motion for downward departure as described in the preceding paragraph is filed and granted, his sentence is reduced. The defendant knowingly and intelligently and voluntarily waives any right to appeal after that. So should it be judged by the government that the defendant has committed or attempted to commit any additional crimes or has engaged in conduct constituting obstructing or impeding justice within the means of the U.S. sentencing guidelines, or has failed to make any court appearances from the date they're signing this plea agreement to the date of the sentencing, or if the defendant...
I ain't never sent you nothing that wasn't complete and thorough.
Yeah,
you big wobblehead ass motherfucker.
No.
We were wobblehead
No. Wack. Well, you gotta remember, in federal court...
When you talk to me,
Wack, in federal court...
When you talk to me.
In federal court, it's really easy to understand. Snitching is, you can't hide snitching. In state court, you can. Once you see 5K1 in federal court, you know what it is.
Listen, this is the problem. And Pooh Shiesty didn't know. See...
Wack, what Pooh Shiesty do to you, man?
Before you become, don't listen. I'm Team Gucci. Shout out QCB. Shout out to D.
Yeah, but Gucci wouldn't want you to do this. Gucci want to keep it in the streets.
I don't know what Gucci wants. Nigga, I ain't talked to Gucci, but let me tell you what my niggas do. Let me ask you something, Act. If a motherfucker get off on you, and I got some shit to fight back with, do you got to tell Wack to fight back for Act? What you know Wack gonna do? What people gonna call your phone and say? Wack tripping. He didn't took off on them niggas who said this shit about you. You know what Wack go. I'm a great friend. I'm an even worse enemy.
Wait, Wack. You know? When did you know about this shit right here?
That's been in the dark files probably about 18 months.
What? Yo, Wack.
Yeah, you gotta know when to fire your. See, one thing about Donald Trump, he know when to fire his torpedoes.
Wack.
You see, the exposers work 24. My man Ghost, Lavish Prince, 600, Eddie Boy.
Wack, if you sat on this for 18 months, Wack, respectfully, you're a sick guy, bro.
I got some shit that'll rock the motherfucker. Listen, I got some shit that'll rock the industry on a bunch of niggas, but until they go fucking with my people, I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. You go to fucking with me, one of mine, and you better know who my people are. So if you one of them dummies who want to say, damn, I'm finna go at that. I'm finna go at these dudes and these dudes. If you got some skeletons, nigga, you better kick back. Because what my team does, the minute me, us, or my people is fuck with, they go immediately digging on those people. And they gather and they send it. And it goes to a filing process.
Yeah, chat. I gotta be honest with you, chat. Yeah, this is textbook cooperation. You know, I don't have a horse in the race.
Niggas know. Keep Gucci name out your mouth. Y'all go ahead on and tend to the brat and the little mouse that y'all got over there in custody.
Now that I see this, I'm wondering if maybe this is why Pooh Shiesty agreed with the fuck the streets thing at first. Because I was saying he should stay far away from it because
nigga, I'm gay.
Man, y'all know how Wack get when he call in on Academic Stream. Get in the comments and let me know, man, is them facts that they posted? Because if that's true, they might be getting out real soon. All they got to do is cooperate. But Charleston White was right. And then, if this is true, they snitched before Woody. So they the real gangster killer snitches that Charleston White be talking about. Man, y'all get in the comments. Hit that like button, man. Don't forget, subscribe if you new. And stay tuned for the next one, man. Click one of these on the screen so you can stay in the loop.